It is a known fact that Black Americans see about $1.6 to $2 trillion every year. But the other fact is we give about 97% of that away, basically surviving on about 3% of that. Now, I want y'all to watch this video of a brother admonishing us for how we spend our money. Check it out.
Let me say this, and I'm gonna need some help with this message today. We gotta change the way we think about things. When did buying a lot of jewelry, buying designer purses, designer clothes, designer shoes, the popular car become that's the person that is wealthy? That's the person that has a lot of money. I thought when you spent all your money on materialistic things, you are now broke. But now society, if you got all this chains and purses and shoes, you the one that's got it. When are we gonna start bragging about buying a whole apartment building or buying a whole complex? That's when you got it.
So as you saw and heard him say there, we buy clothes, chains, opposed to buying real estate and land. And he basically wanted to know, how did we get that way? Well, I think it should be said that we as Black Americans, now, of course, I'm talking about our ancestors, were not that way necessarily, right? Because we had to do business amongst ourselves. So we recycled those black dollars in our communities. Now, of course, we know what happened with the Wall Streets, the Slocums, the Allenwood, Rose Towns, and, all the other black towns that we built from the ground up, right? We know white supremacy came on in there with a wrecking ball, and the rest is history. But the other thing is, some of that was by design. While we were segregated, doing our own thing, there was this campaign to get black dollars into white hands. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson explained about civil rights that it wasn't necessarily because they were trying to give us civil rights or make us equal. It was because we had money and they needed that. They being white people. They're like, we're not doing so well over here, but they got the money. Now, there was a film called How to Sell to the Negro Market or something like that, right? That basically told white people, hey, I know you don't really like them very much, but they got money. That's all you should be worried about, the green dollars, not their black skin. So there was this big old campaign to say, hey, black people, white people, they'll accept you into their stores as long as you're spending money. Then, of course, we know that with civil rights, they said, okay, you don't have to live separate anymore. And so we moved into everybody else's, when I say everybody else, white people's neighborhood. And then there was that white flight because we felt like we made it. And we also felt like while we were spending our money with them, that, I can have the hat that Miss Ann has, or the suit that Mr. Johnson has, that we felt like those material things made us belong to them. The only thing that belonged to them was our black dollar. So that is partially how we got to be so consumeristic. It wasn't necessarily because, and we do, right? We like a nice piece of clothing and all of that. But it was more so because we felt like that Gucci and the Uchi and the Louis made us seem like we were them, right? Or we were a part of them. Like we can hang out with y'all because we got the same labels as you have. But we also know that those same labels, they don't like us. In fact, a lot of those designers of those labels said, we don't want black people to wear our stuff, but somehow we want to wear it anyway. And let's keep it a buck. That stuff ain't cheap. It cost a pretty penny, but yet we feel like it doesn't matter as long as I have the Coach bag, or I don't even know if y'all wearing Coach no more. I'm not a designer bag person, but let's say Louis or Hermes, if that's where your price bracket is. We felt like having a purse like that makes us closer to white women because we have black designers all day long, right? So we need to really get back to that if that's what you need. But to that brother's point, we need to stop being so materialistic and let's buy stuff that matters because, when you die, you could give your granddaughter or your daughter your purse. But if it ain't no money in the purse, it's just a purse. But what about when you die, you leave your grandchildren or your children some land, a house or whatever it is, right? Something of value so that they can continue to build and pass down because that's what you call generational wealth. not going to the store and, spending money with white people, making them rich. Because when you go spend money with them and make them rich, they can leave a legacy to their children while you're sitting up having a GoFundMe because you don't have life insurance. Now, listen, that's a whole different conversation I won't get into here. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, the Demetra